Hey, good evening. Thank you so much for signing up for the part 2 of the free money making masterclass. So today we're going to learn how to make multiple streams of income. Nina, can you hear me?
Good evening, Sam. Good evening, everyone.
I don't know how many people are here. I think probably a couple of people or two, or I'm not sure. This is going to be recorded, and then it's going to be available on YouTube and also on the people who signed up for this but couldn't attend. So this is part 2 of the free money making masterclass. So today we're going to learn how to make multiple streams of passive income from assets you don't even own, that doesn't belong to you, okay? And we will also learn how to get on the property ladder without getting a mortgage, without a big deposit, or even if you have a bad credit score or even low credit score. Now, from the first part, I promised to teach 3 secrets to speed up your success and financial freedom. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. So we're going to talk about the first secret today. I don't think we have time to talk about the second and the third. So let's just dive in. So what's the first secret to speed up your success and financial freedom? Because I never taught this before. It's the first time I'm talking about lease option and asset control. So it's the first time I'm talking about this advanced strategy to control assets you don't own and make money from it. So have you heard of lease option and asset control? So what is lease option? What is asset control? Because this is one of the things I talk in my book, Success Booster, How to Grow Rich, Live Happier, and Be Healthier. So what is lease option?
I don't have any idea. Sorry.
That's fine, no worries. That's exactly what you're going to learn in this video. So the first time when I learned about this lease option, I was kind of, wow, what is this? Because when I signed up for a property training in 2014, December 2014, I was new in the UK. I learned about this and they tried to sign me up for an advanced training, which was £2,000. I said, oh my God, what is this? But I was so curious about this lease option because I said, oh my God, I can actually make money from assets. Let's say a house that doesn't even belong to me. So even though the house doesn't belong to me, I can make money from it. I was, wow, no, I'm interested. So I signed up for the property event and then I paid £2,000 back then in 2014. And yes, in less than 2 years, I bought 2 houses. So again, so what is this option and asset control? Of course, I talk about this asset control in my book, Success Booster, How to Grow Rich, Live Happy, and Be Healthier. But I did not dive into the logistic, how does it work? But here, we're going to talk more about lease option and asset control. So don't worry, it's okay. You know why? Because I will explain exactly how amazing this tool is. Because if you remember from the first part, people who use this tool to make millions, I'm talking about people like Donald Trump, who use lease option and asset control to control the Trump Towers. I'm talking about Rob Moore, Kevin McDonald, Ryan Leon. I'm talking about Kevin Green, who is one of the wealthiest landlords in the UK. All these people, they have one thing in common. And this one thing in common is that they use lease option. Now we're going to talk about what is this lease option and how to use it to make money from assets you don't even own. But for now, I want to dive into exactly about why lease option and asset control are so important, even during these tough and challenging times, because we are officially in a crisis and most people cannot buy a house. People don't have a big deposits. So this strategy allows people to get onto the property ladder without having big deposit, without having a mortgage, or even if they have bad credit score. Okay, it's possible, and I'm going to reveal to you. Okay, I'm going to show you some great benefits of lease option and asset control. But again, if you want to know more about this, check out my book. Of course, my book, I talk about the multiple source of income. I taught about a pyramid in which we have different layers of making money from assets you don't own. Benefit number 1, in terms of lease option and asset control. So the first benefit is that you can make multiple sources of passive income from assets you don't even own. Now, when I talk about passive income, of course, passive income means even though when you're sleeping, you're making money, or even though when you're working, you're making money. So this strategy, as I said, I pay money to learn about these advanced strategies. Of course, you need some time in the beginning to set up the system and to learn how it works. You need advanced strategies and probably mentoring to set up the system and to be able to make more money from this tool. Okay, so the first benefit is that you can make multiple sources of passive income from this asset control and this option alone. And then the second benefit is that, of course, you can use this option and asset control to get on the property ladder, which I would say at the moment it seems impossible, because it seems a lot of people want to get onto the property ladder, but of course, not everybody qualifies for a mortgage, or you need a big deposit. But of course, with this tool, you can get on the property ladder. I'm not going to say it's easy. Okay, it's not easy, but with the right guidance, with the right support, if you set up the system, if you have patience, and you know what you're doing, definitely is going to happen to you. You're going to be able to get a property. Okay, I'm going to talk more about that anyway. So let's continue. So again, the first secret, because I talk about 3 secrets I'm going to be talking in these events, free money masterclass. The first secret is, of course, is using lease option and asset control. This is the tool that allow me to buy 2 houses within 2 years, even though I was new in the UK, coming from Portugal. Okay, so this is possible. I'm not saying it's easy, it's possible. Okay, so the secret number 1 is, of course, as I said many times, is to make multiple sources of income, okay, from assets you don't own. When I say assets you don't own, it means the assets don't belong to you. It's in someone's name, but you can make money from these assets. I'm talking about properties, houses, okay, not on your name officially, legally. But this strategy is legally in the UK. Not doing anything that's illegal. Okay. So you can make multiple sources of income without the need of getting a second job or working more hours or even doing work you dislike or you don't love. To be honest, I don't like doing work I don't love or work I dislike. I don't think it's a good idea to be looking for 2 second sources of income, finish one and going to another job. So it's not the point. I think what we need to do is to learn better and smart strategy to make more money. But of course, many people don't teach about what I teach. You know, that's a problem. So however, we're going to learn how to use these tools, asset control and this option, to make more money without working more hours, without doing work you dislike, which is not the case, because I know you love your job. Again, I love my job. I love teaching. Again, in my part-time, I make money from these strategies. It's something I'm trying to integrate in the community. I'm trying to bring this strategy to the community so they can learn that it's possible to be successful in the UK. Of course, you need knowledge, you need the right people, and this is something that is going to take time to learn, it's going to take time to implement, and probably you have to spend some money to learn, because I spent some money, I spent a lot of money actually to learn this, so it's possible. So secret number 1, I said to make money from assets you don't own, and also, of course, I said to get on the property ladder without getting a mortgage, without big deposits, even though you have low credit score or poor credit score, it does not matter. You don't need to have big deposit. You don't have to qualify for a mortgage. Even if you are on low income, it does not matter. It's possible. Again, as I said, you need the knowledge, because remember from what I said from the first event, knowledge is a bliss, but ignorance is a curse. Okay, which is true. Lack of ignorance is make you poor, but knowledge will make you rich. Okay, we don't have a lot of time. Let's accelerate with the first secret, which is to use lease option and asset control. You're going to be able to eliminate or to kill the first fatal financial mistake most people do. Do you know, by the way, what is the first fatal financial mistake most people do? What do you think is the number 1 fatal financial mistake most people do in terms of money? Any idea?
I think it's work for money, only for money. I think so.
Working for money, yes, I would say yes. However, I've got something specific here, which
Spend
is
all the money as well.
yes, sorry,
Spend all the money.
spending money. Yes, those are all mistakes we do. There is one specifically that I did back then, that because of that I was homeless officially in the UK. But I'm going to talk about that anyway. I said that the first secret we need to learn is about lease option and asset control. And I said that if you learn this secret, which is asset control and lease option, you're going to be able to make multiple sources of income and also to get on the property ladder. Not only that, Nina, you will also be able to kill or eliminate the number one fatal financial mistake most people do, which is there. I said this number one fatal financial mistake. Most people poor, miserable, and working hard, but not earning enough money. And then I ask, do you know what is this fatal financial mistake that keep most people poor, miserable, and working hard, but not earning enough money? So that was the question. Of course, this is a tricky question and it's difficult for many people to grasp or, if you like, to get. And I'm going to reveal the true answer that I went through this, unfortunately, and I lost my job. And because of this, I became homeless, me and my family, back then in 2015. Even though I managed to buy 2 houses, I was homeless in 2015 with my family as well. So what is this? There you go. Only having one source of income. So the number one fatal financial mistake most people do is because they have only one source of income. This was my mistake. So what do you think about this?
This is great, but depend your circumstances as well. Depend if you can get 1 or 2 jobs as well.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it depends. I mean, the problem is if you want to get a second job, you need to put more hours. And if you're a single mom, you have kids, it's going to be very difficult. So what I teach people that is not the question to, even though the biggest problem is to have only one source of income, we want to create multiple sources of income with asset control and lease option. I'll explain to you what is lease option and what is asset control in more details. However, having only one source of income is definitely a big problem. Now, we need to learn how to create multiple sources of income without working more hours, without doing work we dislike or we don't love, and actually having some fun. So that's what we're going to talk about. Again, I have a question here. I said, my question to you is, so this is a question I ask many people because a lot of people talk about making money. I want to be financial free. And then ask them, how many sources of income do you have? And I'm just waiting. And some people say 2, and others say 3, and most people say 1. So how many sources of income do you have at the moment? It's okay if you tell me 1, there is no problem. I'm not judging you. Remember, back then in 2015, I only had one source of income, which was income from property. I bought 2 houses, and unfortunately, I had some issues. I'm going to be talking about that anyway. I don't want to go into details, but I lost those sources of income, and I had no money because I set up my own business, and I had no source of income, and we officially had no money. My wife wasn't working at the time, so we became homeless, and we have to move to North London. Big problem, a lot of challenges, but I want to talk about that. So do you have one source of income? Is okay. It's not a problem, not judging you. I get you. I do understand your point.
No, unfortunately, I don't have any income.
That's fine. You only have one source. That's exactly the point. No worries. Don't worry about that. It's okay. Of course, we need to have more source of income, and this is what I'm going to be proposing in this program. Another way is to create multiple sources of income without working more hours, without doing work you don't like or dislike, and actually having fun, and helping other people. So don't worry. Now, that if you only have one source of income, then I would say you need to implement secret number 1. Do you remember what is secret number 1?
To have emergency accounts.
No, secret number 1 is not. That is related to secret number 2. Well done. So secret number 1, let me go back
So
a
I
bit.
answer in advance.
No, secret number 1 is lease option and asset control. Secret number 1 is to be able to use tools like lease option and asset control to make money from assets you don't own, from properties you don't own, from business you don't own. So that's the secret number 1. Remember, secret number 1 is lease option and asset control. What you're telling me is about secret number 2, which I'm going to be covering if we have time, which is related to secret number 2. Okay, so let's move on. Unfortunately, we didn't get more people. Some people told me, unfortunately, we wouldn't make it. and they are happy to get the recording. As I said, you will get the recording, and also you will get the PowerPoint of this presentation as a free bonuses. So don't worry about that. So as I said, the secret number one, always remember, is the ability to use this option and asset control. This is a tool will help you make multiple source of income from assets you don't even own. When I say don't even own, remember, I'm talking about some people, they have houses, okay? It's not yours, but you can make money from those houses. You can, I will talk about more about that. I don't want to go into details right now because we're gonna waste time. So let's say you're gonna make multiple sources of income without using your own assets, which means using other people's assets. Now, what is asset control? Do you remember what is asset control from the first event? It's okay if you don't remember what is asset control. So what is asset control, and why is it so important as a way to build wealth and to achieve financial freedom? Because this is what I'm going to bring to the community. This is what I'm teaching people. This is what I specialize in, asset control. So what is asset control? What is this? Okay, so I put here, asset control is basically, Nina, is when you use a legal document called lease option agreement to control an asset like a property, like a house, and make money from the asset, even though the asset doesn't belong to you, even though the asset is not yours. Okay, do you understand the concept of asset control?
A tiny bit.
Yeah, so it's
I
basically,
still get it slowly.
yeah, it's something that wealthy people have been using for a lot of time. I would say from different background. We are born in, I mean, I was born in Africa, Cape Verde Islands. You were born in, I know, in Portugal. Unfortunately, we don't learn about this advanced strategy that the ultra wealthy people use to control properties and make money. These people, they build massive wealth from this strategy alone. So this strategy is the foundation of my pyramid. So this is what I intend to teach people to make money and become financially free from asset control. But remember, asset control, as I said, is a legal document. It's called lease option agreement, which is I'm going to show you, is a document that is draft, is created by a solicitor, and then you can control a property that doesn't belong to you and make money. Now, of course, you might ask me, how I'm going to make money from something that doesn't belong to me, something that is not mine? And I would say this, have an open mind, because people have been doing this for ages. Donald Trump, Rob Moore, who is one of the wealthiest people in Peterborough, Peterborough is outside London. Liam Ryan, Kevin McDonald, my God, Samuel Leeds, my mentors, Simon Jushi, and so many other people have been using this to build massive wealth from property, and they are millionaires and multimillionaires. If they can do it, you can do it too. Of course, you need a mentor. You need maybe to be inside a mastermind program to learn how to implement these tools, because of course, without guidance, you won't be able to implement these tools, because I have to pay money to learn this, and of course I have a mentor to help me to implement this. So now you know what is this option, to be able to use a legal document to control properties. When I say control, is you're going to receive passive income, make money from the property, even though it doesn't belong to you. So remember, I have solicitors working for me. This is something I can tell you more about that. So I have solicitors. It's not free. They charge me like over £1,000 for any deal, for any transaction I do. Okay. So this document, remember, Nina, this document is going to be draft. When I say draft, is a legal draft, means they're going to be created. They're going to be done by a solicitor, by a savvy solicitor who knows about property laws in the UK. And remember, Nina, this is officially legal in the UK. We're not doing anything illegal. I'm not a Dutch guy. I do everything legal. I don't like to
I
be.
believe in that. I believe in that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't like to be in trouble. I have a family. Everything legal. You need to pay for legal advice. But again, is going to be drafted by your solicitor. Don't worry about this. I will give you more details about this later on. So this document is going to be signed by you, who is going to be like the investor, and by the property, by the seller. So I'm the buyer. I'm the buyer who is buying the property or controlling the property, and there is a seller who wants to sell, but they cannot sell. So I'm going to help them to sell the property or buy the property. When I say buy the property, it's not actually buying, it's controlling. The right way is, remember, I like to talk about asset control. So I'm controlling an asset and make money from it, even though it's not in my name officially. Okay, so you can use this option to control assets you don't own. This means you can make money from an asset such as a house, not just a house, Nina. Of course, you can make money from even for a business. Some people use these documents to actually to control businesses. I don't know if you know, but have you heard of the houses for a pound?
I heard that about, yeah, before.
Yes.
With my previous landlord, that she sell that property for dad for £1.
Okay, so she bought the house from the dad from £1.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is exactly what this is about, Nina. This is called lease option. Now, when they say buy a house for £1, it's not actually £1, which means the transaction they say legally binding is £1. So to make it officially legally is £1, but you're not buying the house for £1. Okay, so let's say you have a house. The house is £100,000. So what when we make the transactions is gonna be we're gonna sign the contracts, including the solicitor is gonna be there, and I'm gonna pay £1 or even the whatever is the option fee. They call it option fee, which is the fee you're gonna pay for the contract. However, if you're selling the house, let's say for £100,000 in 5 years, which means I'm gonna buy this house in the future for £100,000. I'm not gonna pay £100,000 right now. I'm going to pay in the future. However, sometimes you have to cover the mortgage, you have to pay the insurance, and etc. Okay, but just to make it legally binding, as I say, legally binding, which officially legally you have is £1. Okay, I can teach you more about that and explain more about that £1. So
This one is incredible.
it is incredible. Remember, this is the foundation of wealth building. I'm going to show you in my pyramid of wealth. I never revealed this before. It's the first time I'm teaching these advanced strategies because my student told one of my students I mentor, she paid me 400, nearly £400 a month. She told me, why are you not teaching these things, Sam? I said, I'm not sure. These advanced strategies, I'm not sure how people will react. They will think, people will think it's a scam. And they said, don't just be open, tell people is legal, and bring your solicitor on board, and show that it's legal. I said, okay, that makes sense. And so that's why I'm going to launch a program which is a mastermind. I'm going to be bringing my solicitors, I'm going to be bringing my mortgage brokers, my team, and all the people have been doing this to make sure people understand that it's legally. There is nothing not illegal. Yes. So
Yeah. I believe I know nobody knows about that
yeah,
because the government is a secret. The government, I believe in that. The government they don't know, or they don't want the people to know about this secret, because if the people discover these secrets, I think it's going to be collapse for government now.
exactly. People, you see, that's my point. The government don't want people to be clever, to learn about investing money, to be financial free. The government want to control us. They want to keep us like an employee. They
Yeah,
want us to be squeezed like a lemon. Yes, they
yeah,
want us to be
like
struggling.
a rat.
Because
Yeah,
they want us to be paying the pension. They don't want us to learn about these advanced strategies. I'm very proud to be born in Cape Verde, to be doing my studies in Portugal. So I learned about this, and then I'm going to spread this. There is nothing the government can do to stop me. I guarantee you. I'm going to be spreading this. I said Isha, I'm going to be. She pays me £400 a month. She says that's too cheap for mentoring, and I'm going to be spreading this. And you can come to my events. I'm going to let's use this, and let's all the people know about this, because I was very concerned about spreading this, because I don't know how people will react, or even the government or other people. So now I'm not afraid anymore. So yeah, definitely this secret number one, lease option asset control, will definitely allow you to make multiple sources of income. This I never thought about this before. Now, in my book Success Booster, there is something I talk about, which is the multiple source of passive income pyramid. I don't know if you've seen this in my book, but there is somehow in my book. So at the bottom of the pyramid, Nina, you can see asset control. Now, remember what I said about asset control. Asset control is controlling assets that is not yours and making money from it. Okay, asset control, as you can see, is many strategies. We have rent to rent, deal sourcing, as you can see in the bottom, packaging, rent to own, which rent to own is like when you buy a house as a first-time buyer. So when you don't have the big mortgage, big deposit, or bad credit card, you can use rent to own, which means you're going to rent the house to the landlord, and the landlord is going to give you an option to purchase the house in the future. Now, when I say in the future, I mean in 5 years, maybe 3 years, when the mortgage is going to finish, okay? Now, you can see this is my strategy. I have asset control, I have asset promotion, in which you can promote my products, my programs, and make money. Up to 25% you can make from recommending people to my products. And then I have asset creation. Asset creation is where you can create books, courses, programs, like mentoring, and teach people how to become successful. And if you do recommend my products and services, you will earn and make up to 25% without doing much, okay? And then asset purchase is where you can learn how to purchase property below market value. Now, when I say below market value, Nina, I say cheaper. I'm talking about 20% below market value. You buy the property cheaper, okay? And then you can put less deposit down. And then after 6 months, you can remortgage the property. When I say remortgage, which means you're going to get a second mortgage and the bank is going to give you money. It's called refinance. If you buy a house just to rent, of course, you're going to remortgage the house in 6 months or 9 months. They're going to give you money back. And then with the money they give you, remember, the money can give you more, the bank can give you money. You're going to buy a second house. Okay. I will dive more into this advanced strategy. Don't worry for now if you don't get fully the concepts, okay? But I want you to grasp the concept of asset control and lease option, which is the number one tool I recommend all my students to learn, which is controlling assets you don't own, like a property, and make money from it. Now, when you know that, you also want to be promoting my products or promoting any people products, even a company, as long as they're going to pay you money. Every time you recommend the product and the service, they're going to give you a link. It's called an affiliate link. And if people buy the product or the service, which means you're going to get 25% of the value. When I mean 25%, is like, let's say my program is 100 pounds. Okay. If you give someone the link and someone buy the product for 100 pounds, which means you get 25% is yours to keep by just mentioning my program, okay? By just someone using the link, okay? This is great. It's called asset promotion. I call it promote and get paid program. Is one of my programs. I'm bringing this to the Portuguese community and Cape Verdean community, okay? So don't worry if you don't get this right now. I'm going to be talking more about this. We have 6 minutes. Now, we have 5 money-making methods. Remember, I love methods. Methods is the way to achieve financial freedom. So 5 methods. I have rent-to-rent. It's called rent-to-rent HMO. HMO is called houses on multiple occupations. Okay, Nina? It means you can rent the house from a landlord and then you're going to make money by letting the house by individual rooms. Okay? So if you have 3 houses, let's say it's a 3-bed house, instead of renting the 3-bed house to a family, you're going to rent the house to 3 people, and you're going to make more money because 3 people, like let's say students or professional workers, you're going to make more money, and then you're going to pay the landlord the difference. I'm going to talk more about that in the third part. And then you have rent-to-rent SA. Rent SA means service accommodation, which means like a Airbnb. I don't know if you heard about Airbnb.
Airbnb, no.
Airbnb is like a hotel. You know, when you go to a hotel or this place, they rent by rooms. You pay by night. Yes.
Oh, bed and breakfast.
Yes, yes. Bed and breakfast, which means you can get the house from the landlords and you say, you know what, I'm going to pay you a higher rent. Give me this house. I'm going to rent the house by night. People going to stay there by night, and then you're going to make more money. than if you let the house by month.
They pay per day, or they have to pay per
Exactly.
night? Or?
They pay by night. Yes, they can pay. Airbnb is like pay by night, which means you make more money if you let the house to a family, or even if you let the house to 3 people, like a 3-bed house. Don't worry about this. I'm going to cover this more about in the next session because we have 4 minutes left. Okay, and then we have the 5 money making methods. We talk about rent to rent HMO, which is house multiple occupation, which is letting a house for 3 people instead of a family. You're going to make more money. And then you have rent to rent SA, which is like service accommodation, is like bed and breakfast, rent by people come and they pay by nights. And then you have rent to buy, which is rent to own. It's like you're renting the house to the landlord, and then the landlord is going to give you the option to buy the house in the future.
Oh, I heard that in the Portugal. Yes. Yeah.
So it's going to give you the option to buy the house in the future. I'm going to talk more about that in the third part. You might ask me, why the landlord is going to give you the option to buy in the future? There are many reasons. Don't worry at this stage. I'm going to teach you how some reasons the landlords would like to give you the option to buy in the future. Not all landlords are willing to give the option to buy in the future. But again, there are some landlords who are willing to do so. And that's exactly what I did in 2014. Okay. And then you have deal sourcing and deal packaging. Now, Nina, this is like, you are a landlord and I approach you and I say, you know what? You have a house. I'm going to help you to sell the house. And then I'm going to make an agreement with you, using my solicitor, of course. And then I'm going to sell the property to another investor. I'm going to sell it to property. And usually I'm talking about £2,000 to £5,000. If I manage to sell the contract to another investor who is interested in your house, okay, £2,000 to £5,000. Imagine if you could get £2,000, you would be financially free by now. Okay. So, isn't it?
Yeah, this is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
This is amazing. It's advanced strategy people are using. We, Portuguese and Cape Verdean, unfortunately, we are working like slaves, like mad, and we don't know what's in the world, and we are kind of well behind. But I'm ready to stop this madness and bring people to reality. Help people that it's possible to achieve financial freedom, and that you need to be learning the right methods, you need to have a mentor, and you need to be inside a mastermind. And then you have assisted property sales. Now, assisted property sales is where you're going to help a landlord to sell their house. Now, when I say to help the landlord, what I mean is sometimes the landlords cannot sell a house because the house is in terrible condition. Okay, it's in terrible condition. Now, the landlord needs to do some refurb. When I say refurb, it means maybe they need to refurb the house, make it beautiful, add value, maybe convert it, add more rooms, and then maybe add a loft conversion, and then you're going to be able to sell the house to a higher price. But if you can do that, it's called assisted property sales, and then you're going to assist the landlord to sell the house. If you do that, you're going to make some money. But of course, you need a contract, and if you do that, it's also this strategy is also called a flip. It's a property flip. It's buy to flip, which means you're going to flip. You're just going to sell it to someone else, and you have to pay a lot of tax, like capital gain tax. Capital gain tax is when you buy the house and sell it, you have to pay tax. You have to pay some duty, which means anytime you buy a property, you have to pay tax in the UK officially. And that's it. Any question, Nina? Because this is where I would dive into any one of these strategies, but unfortunately, we don't have enough time to cover this at this stage. How was this event?
Amazing. It's a lot of information to get in for the first day. But it's amazing. It's a lot of strategies as well. And it's very good to achieve if I want to, to achieve my goals and to achieve my dreams as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to give me these tools. It's a lot to learn.
You're welcome. So